Hi, my name is Sally Creel. I'm the STEM and Innovation Supervisor for Cobb County Schools. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you tonight, but unfortunately I get to be at the board meeting at the county office. I wanted to talk to you for a moment and let you know how excited I am that Lindley is going to be starting a STEM Academy. STEM is something that is actually going to be permeating every single part of the world that we live in. It's actually already part of everything we live in. STEM is part of everything from manufacturing to safety and security, the medical field, transportation, and so much more. You'll see STEM applications everywhere. A lot of people think that STEM is robots or science and lab coats, but it's really anything that integrates technology, math, science, or problem solving and critical thinking. The beautiful thing about having a STEM Academy at Lindley is that we're going to be able to help our students start thinking about things differently. Think about the problem solving you had to do just to get here tonight. We want to give our kids the opportunity to think through things, to have critical thinking, to work in small groups so they can build those collaboration skills, to communicate with one another, and to actually apply the learning that they've been doing. We're kind of getting away from the days where Jeopardy knowledge is something that was a goal for education, and we really want to make students understand the relevance behind what they're learning. To make learning more relevant, we'll be able to give them the chance to actually apply the skills that they've been learning in their math class, or in their English class, or even social studies. In Cobb County, STEM isn't just something that happens in a single class that's separate from everything else. We really value the opportunity to integrate all of the different disciplines together to help our students understand why they're doing what they're doing. They spend a lot of time in school, and we know that our students are going to be more engaged in learning and will actually be able to do more with that learning if we help them understand why it's relevant. We want to help our kids build a STEM mindset. We know that a lot of students are really successful in elementary school and even the very beginning of middle school. But when the classes start getting a little more challenging, they start encountering some problems. Maybe they were a straight A student before, or the classes have just gotten harder. We want to make sure that we're giving them the opportunity to fail early and fail in a controlled environment so they can build that grit, that perseverance, that sense of self, or a belief in themselves, so that when they do encounter challenges, and that's going to happen, we all know that we encounter challenges in our lives, they're better prepared to actually tackle those and overcome those obstacles. That's a life skill. STEM is a way to provide them that environment that's safe to build that life skill. I want to show you a couple of really cool new STEM practices or STEM pieces that are out there. Take a look at some of these inventions that are out here recently. Why did no one ever think of actually taking a plug and putting a hole in it like that? Then we wouldn't have the plug disconnect from the wires. Another one that's really cool, I'm sorry, I want this umbrella, because how many times have you had to try to juggle holding your cup and your umbrella and everything else? It's a simple design, but it's something that kids have thought of. A really new advancement that's coming out is in gaming. They're working to make games more accessible to all learners. Students that might have mobility difficulties or challenges in the way that they're able to move fine motor or gross motor skills, they're actually working at adapting gaming consoles so that they can still have the experience of gaming and doing the things that their peers are able to do, but they would have all the same functionality with a little bit of adaptations. This one is probably one of my favorite new innovations that's out there. I'm going to give you a second to kind of see if you can think what it might be showing. Anybody got a guess? If you guess that it's a milk carton that tells you when the milk is expired, I know, right? Then you're right. That's exactly what it is. How cool is that? When the milk carton changes color, the milk is no longer safe to drink. I asked the question, so at what point of the discoloration would I not drink the milk anymore? The other part of that is, let's say you're a milk producer, that you own a dairy farm. How great is this for your economic side of things? Because people are going to know when their milk is expired and want to buy more milk, maybe more frequently than they might have before. Another really big trend that we're seeing in STEM is wearable technologies. So we're looking at shoes and clothing and fabrics and all different things that have technology embedded in it. This particular jacket that I'm showing here is a technology where when the person wears it during the day, the sun charges it so that at night it glows and you're actually more visible. So it's a safety mechanism that's built into a jacket. STEM is that it's helping our students actually get ready for jobs and careers that are out there. There are more openings for STEM-related jobs than any other type of job. There's actually 2 STEM jobs for every non-STEM job. And students that actually work in STEM fields, they make more money than their peers that don't work in STEM fields. We did a study with the Cobb County Chamber of Commerce where we talked to all the different business sectors and industries that are out there. And we asked them, what do you need in future employees? What are you looking for? What are the skills? I'm from a generation that I thought they would all come in and say, I need a degree in XYZ. Not one of them said that. They all said that they needed students that could be part of a team. They needed students that understood how to collaborate, how to work successfully with one another and not argue, and not need someone else to solve all of their problems. You think about your job and your day-to-day work, that's an essential skill. And you know that there are some people that have it and some that don't. We need to provide our kids opportunities while they're still in school and they're still learning and building their sense of self to understand how to master these skills and apply them in their daily lives so that they will be more successful citizens when they graduate. Did you know, I love this stat, half of all STEM jobs don't require a 4-year degree. And they pay an average of $53,000, which is 10% higher than non-STEM jobs with similar education requirements. Some of these jobs require a certificate, some of them require a multi-week training course, or some of them are a 2-year degree. There are lots of options for kids that don't require them going to a 4-year traditional college route. I mentioned earlier about the importance of teamwork. We want our students to have the opportunity to communicate, to collaborate, to think critically about problems, and be able to be creative while they're thinking about problems. We know that that's an important skill set that we need to provide them the opportunity to refine and build and improve, starting in elementary school, working on it in middle school, and continue to refine it throughout high school. So this is one of my favorite quotes, and this is what we're doing at Lindley Middle School with our STEM program. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't exist yet, using technologies that haven't been invented in order to solve problems that we don't yet know exist. Thank you so much for coming out and spending time tonight. I know that you're excited, just like I am, to see the wonderful things that are happening at Lindley 7-8.